Okay, I'm with Dr. Kellogg with the Westerville City Schools. Dr. Kellogg, tell me what are the top priorities this year in the Westerville district?
So here we sit ready for the next decade, and there are clearly, I think, three big chunks of opportunity in front of us as a school district. And the first one would be facilities, because as you know, we just were fortunate enough that the community supported a bond issue for us, and we're in the starting phase of a first 5 years of a 10-year facilities master plan. And so Westerville South is moving along in great fashion, and so that's a big part of the project. We are in design phase with the new middle school and the new elementary school, and work on Amherst, and then behind that we'll start on the other parts of the project. We're also going to be bidding out this spring, redoing the entries at 9 of our other buildings. So there's going to be a lot of construction going on as we go into 2020, and that's an exciting opportunity for us as a school district to start to bring greater safety features to our district and create more space capacity for us as a district. So really looking forward to that hard work. So that'll be a big part of 2020 right off the chute.
So that's facilities, so that's probably like a top priority.
Yep, because it has a ripple effect to all kinds of other pieces in terms of distribution of students, size of buildings, programming, personnel. So there's a lot of operational considerations for that piece. One of the major outcomes of this is the increasing number of families that are going to really fall into that neighborhood school concept. So we know that's a high priority for our community. We know we have pockets of our community where that's not the case. This facilities master plan will enhance our ability to meet that goal for more families. So it gives a more personalized and engaging presence for us as a school district with components of our community. So I think that's really, really big in ways that people understand. And then the safety piece with the other buildings that we're going to be working on, we know that was as we went through campaign, high priority for people. And so we are looking forward to adding that to all of the things we do around school safety. This is just one component, but we're pleased to be able to do that, and we're thankful to the community for supporting that bond issue. I think the other important thing moving forward is going to be school finance. And in that area, there's the components that we can control in terms of being good stewards of the fiscal resources that we have. The other portion of the fall ballot issue was the operating levy, so the community voted to support us and give us additional revenue to continue our progress. And so we want to be good stewards of that. But on the other side, we are, as we enter 2020, facing some unique state challenges that don't work in concert with where the community wants us to be. So, for example, the state's continued delay in getting to a funding formula that's clear and transparent, that makes it easy to plan, that's understandable. In the absence of that, we are really kind of working blindly on what do we think as we project forward our state revenue is going to be, and what can we put that towards, and how does that fit into our 5-year forecast. So the absence of a final decision on school funding in Ohio creates some tension around our forward look. And then most recently, the other piece of that is this change in the Ed Choice voucher program that I know a lot of people are talking about right now, and has significant implications because of not just what it is, but how it came to be, and the implications are for public schools and their taxpayers. So this change, which now will essentially siphon off local property tax dollars to private and parochial schools for tuition, was done in a way that wasn't very transparent and not very fair. So lack of a change, lack of legislators' efforts to make a change there for us, added to a state funding formula that at this point isn't clear or transparent, makes it very difficult for us to project what we're going to be able to do in the future, because we know that our community is willing to support us, but we have to be thoughtful about how often we ask and how much we need to ask for. So we just were successful in coming off a long time period of no ask and then asking for something that was significant, and we want to stretch that as far as we can go, but we need the state to do its part too. So advocating in this area of school finance is going to be very, very big for us in 20, not just us, but for school districts across Ohio. And so I'm hopeful that that component of school finance starts to get worked out, both of them, hopefully here in the near future. So we're going to continue to work towards that. And then obviously the third and most important, and will always be on the list of looking forward, is just the opportunities we create for students in our district and the outcomes that means for them. And we want to continue putting in programming and supporting students and providing access for all students to curriculum and instructional practices that are meaningful to them and engaging to them, and will prepare them for this this very different society than I grew up in, right? So as we enter 2020, we look at the world of work and how people are living today. It's very, very different, and we need to respond to those changes and in ways that are meaningful in classrooms for our kids. So what we're teaching them, how we're preparing them are going to be critical components. And I think that whole academic side is coupled with the student wellness side that you hear so much talk about across entities from the federal government to state to local, where we're talking more and more about student wellness, student well-being, student social emotional well-being. So this return to focusing on the whole child, not just the academic component, I think is going to continue to be a talking point and an action point for school districts. It is clear when we talk to community members that that's a high priority. And so baking that into what we do is going to be an important piece. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think if anything, as a part of the educational experience students have, that's going to be an increasingly important part that's highly valued by our community. And so we need to respond to that and then demonstrate that we're acting on that and can bring support to kids in that area. So that whole academic piece has a lot of parts around it that we need to move. I think what we want to do on a local level and how that aligns with some of the things going at the state level, again, starts to become an interesting point. We also know, aside from school funding, that legislators are doing a lot of discussion around accountability measures, school report cards, assessment, some of the recent mandates that have come down that are increasingly we're finding to be not beneficial, not really aligned to what we want to be doing, and in some cases, just poor measurements. So I know legislators and policymakers are talking about making changes there. I'm hopeful that we see some good, solid action there so that as we put the whole picture together, we can be better stewards of the resources we have because we can devote them to those areas that are most important to us at the local level, while still paying attention to the state level, but not having an imbalance on who's pulling the puppet string, so to speak. So
There's a lot of work ahead.
Oh, there's a ton of work ahead. But it's exciting and fun work, so I get energized when I think about it.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Thank you.